Remember that last ball 6 at Borland Park? A man for the big occasion.
Yeah, another excellent over. 81 for 4.5 to 10 JSK, and they're just falling a little bit behind the 8 ball.
It's time for the ABSA card play of the day. Fans can win up to 200,000 Rand at every match. All you need is an ABSA card and a quick sign up at the ABSA activation stand to enter. Today's winner wins 30,000 Rand. That's just for coming to the Betway SA20 Season 4 celebrations all round. It still feels like festive. ABSA card play of the day.
Well, those with yellow flags are tense, really tense. Joburg have done well to get themselves back in the game, not far off where Paarl Royals were at the same time. Lost more wickets, of course. Here he comes again. This fellow who has a happy knack in this tournament. He's a terrific competitor. Strong man with a big heart. And he gets key wickets. He's also particularly good at bowling at difficult times. He seems unfazed by the challenges put before him. I rather admire him. AB de Villiers, JP Duminy, initials everywhere.
Important task for Dan Lawrence to get the right matchups going now, because it's one big over for JSK to get back into this game. So you see Otniel Bartman here, one of the more experienced players. It takes 1 week over. I know, firmly in control, Paarl Royals, no doubt about it. But they'll be very well aware of 1 over of 20 to 25, and all of a sudden they're close to 10 runs and over again.
Yeah, they've just had a very tidy one from the Sikandar Raza. Just 5 from it, all in singles. Now they need the backup from Otniel, which he's doing. And if you can becalm James Vince, you're bowling pretty well. Vince 32 from 23, Mulder 24 from 15. You feel that they and Dejan Forrester are going to do the bulk of the work if they're going to get over the line here. Going to take a Herculean effort from this position. Oh, hello, what a shot, what a shot, what a shot.
Yeah, it's the width that he gets, James Vince. It's the slower ball, but he gets the opportunity to just extend his arms, and at no point was he trying to hit it around the ground. It is the shorter end to his offside, and open up that face beautifully. Gets a much needed 6 for his team.
Yes, he goes into that modern short form set position of getting the left side clear early. Opens up the whole field. Oh, look at that. He knew. Oh, gosh. 6 more. Beautiful ball striking from James Vince. Seems to make it look so easy, AB.
Now, this time around to the long boundary, he was expecting him to come a bit straighter after giving width. It looked like a big 6 from the start, but it just crept over there. Must have come a little bit off the toe. Maybe taking a little bit of pace off once again, Bartman. I couldn't really see the pace there, but it just cleared the boundary. Momentum Vince.
Oh, what a stop that is too. In the end, because of the bounce, actually, it wasn't that difficult, but it was essential, really essential. 96 for 4. Well, the pair of put on 55 in just 32 balls. Credit to Björn Mulder for coming in and being able to go straight away, have an urgency to his play, so that doesn't make it difficult for Vince. And the runs evenly spread in the partnership. So the simple, bare, hard, real, challenging facts are 115 runs are needed from 54 balls. That is a hell of an ask. An expectant crowd. They've seen so many cracking games of cricket here, a pitch and an outfield and everything that allows for stroke play to be rewarded. McQuainer now, Vince got into him. He took 16 off his first over.
Yeah, you just feel that James Vince, captain, flying high in the sense of momentum with him. Double sixes in the previous over, 15 from it. So a little bit of momentum, and you feel that this is the over where they feel that they need to capitalize. Coena already going for 16 in his first, up against it. Starts well.
There ought to be two here. They really should. Yeah, they come back. Oh, great running. Fair enough, though. You can't have fielders everywhere, and the bowler just has to understand that two in a way as a result. So what's interesting for McQuainer here is how straight he's bowled those two balls. He's come from quite wide of the crease and he's angled it in at Vince, determined not to give him room in that strong area outside off stump. So the challenge is not to drift leg side. We're talking very small margins for him, but he's got 2 out of 2 right. Bowled in! McQuainer, the comeback kid.
Smart bowling, leg cutter. I think the previous two were the roll of the wrist as well, but a little bit faster. This one was definitely pace off. That was an off cutter actually. It stayed a touch low. Short boundary on the leg side. It is brave doing that. What a great comeback and what a big wicket. It's the captain, James Vince. He had the momentum behind him, but not anymore. He goes for 47. It's 98 for 5.
That's a beautiful ball. It's got everything, you know. The fact you can see it tumbling, falling, and then hitting the stumps absolutely full on is in itself a joy. And much as I like watching James Vince, I love the way this young fella fights with the ball. I've seen him get slammed around the park before and come back with a couple of wickets that have really mattered. Terrific attitude he's got.
Some healthy numbers there. Very good strike rate, very good average. Deon Forrester, the best strike rate and the best average in this tournament, James. He's up against it here. He's going to need all of that and more.
Oh, Miller doesn't think it's done yet, not even close. He looked like the grim Miller. Oh, now they ask, but I don't think there's much to ask about. There's disinterest everywhere else except from Kyle Verreynne. McQuainer himself had already turned round to go back to his mark.
Delivery confirmed. The batter is Forrester. Can we have your side on angle, please? Can we have a look at ball tracking, please? Waiting on ball tracking.
Okay, so they weren't checking for the edge of the bat, they were checking for the height of the ball. So one for the over, not a wide. Oh, hello! A fabulous stop. Almost a fabulous catch.
Yeah, the captain, Dan Lawrence, recognizing the moment, bringing the guys a little bit closer to the bat, and creates an opportunity in the end, but put down nonetheless. Yeah, it's been really impressive, Mokoena, in this over. Great comeback. 3 money saver, dot balls, and a wicket.
Well, that is one heck of an over, a memorable over, I'd say. Only 3 from it, and the absolute key wicket, 99 for 5. Nikhil, where are you, my friend?
The rebuild is on for the Super Kings, but unfortunately it is without this man, Don Ferreira. So sad to see that cast on. First of all, how are you feeling? Any improvements since?
Yeah, it's been getting better day by day, but I mean, it's still uncomfortable. Sleeping is really tough. You can't sleep with the brace on, but it's getting better day by day. So it's just about just sticking it through with this injury.
I know this is a home ground for you. How disappointed are you to not be out there, and what would have probably excited you the most about playing at Centurion?
Yeah, well, I mean, the vibe is amazing. If you look at it, it's electric. People are going crazy. The ground is full. The wicket looks pretty good. And it's a knockout game. It's always special playing in knockout games, and being part of the JSK family is close to my heart. So it's obviously not great being out there and fighting with the boys, but I guess that's part of the game. So yeah, enjoying it.
Yeah, Sikandar Raza back into the attack. Don, in terms of the SA20, right? Obviously you've been here from the inception. How have you seen this league evolve, particularly in crowd and atmosphere?
Well, I mean, this atmosphere here speaks for itself. I think from year 1 to year 4 now, it's just grown every year. The tickets are getting sold out even earlier. The vibe is good. There's kids, there's family out here. So we can't complain. You know, as players, it's really exciting to inspire the younger generation. And I mean, just sitting over here, being part of it, you know, from the outside is just amazing. Because sometimes when you're playing, you don't always feel it, or you know, you're just there in the middle. But being part of it, being between the people of here, seeing kids just running around, being happy is amazing. So hopefully it can just go from strength to strength and keep growing.
There's so many differences in the 6 venues that you guys play at. If you had to pick one that in the 4 seasons you prefer to play at, don't be biased with at home. Give me your neutral take.
I've had success at home. Yeah, so not only being there, the people hate coming there with the whistles, but it's just electric. When the Wanderers is full, you know, the other teams hate playing against us just because the whistles and the support. They actually just support good cricket, you know. So even if the other team's doing well, they stay there till the end. But to be fair, all the grounds have been really good. Supersport Park's also close to my heart, playing domestic cricket over here. And if you look at the grass embankments and the stands, they sit here until the end. So I mean, they're not supporting their home team tonight, but they still come out in numbers and support good cricket. So that's encouraging for us as a country.
We saw you captain this year. How was that experience, and is it something you want to do in the future, maybe after FAF?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously an honor to captain any team. You know, getting the experience under Flem is also something that you can't explain. So yeah, if that's where my journey is and that's where the road leads to, then I'll probably take over from FAF. But you know, he's a leader in himself, and hopefully he can play 1 or 2 more seasons.
Before we let you go, have you been behaving in here? Behaving? I see a lot of party atmosphere. People are eating, having beverages, behaving?
I have been behaving. It's on me, but I have been behaving.
Don, get better soon, and we wish you all the best, and of course hope to see you back in South African and JSA colours.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Nice, really good to hear from Don Ferreira, who has lit up the tournament on numerous occasions. Some sixes at the Wanderers as big as any that could have been hit there. Brilliant run out to make that super over happen. So much he's done to entertain the fans, so we wish him a quick recovery. Well, he will surely catch it. Yep, all he did was steady himself under the ball. Another great celebration for Sikandar Raza. Another wicket falls for Super Kings. They're finding it tough out there tonight.
Yeah, we saw some real animation from Sikandar Raza. And the way he would throw and backs it up with great elation in the wicket. And why not? He wanted to bowl to the left-hander. In Forrester, it's the matchup that gives him the best opportunity. Settle beautifully as the tribe. And that's what it means to the men in pink. They're in the pound seats, and why not? Sikandar Raza's done the job. He goes for 3. JSK, 103 for 6.
Well, it's a good catch, this. This Asa Tribe, you know, a lot to like about his cricket. We've seen him open the batting. Today he came in much lower in the order and played a really tidy hand at the end, at the death. He had the game for it. Good fielder. Seems to have a cricket brain, likes to get involved, makes a few points to people, runs around with his enthusiasm, congratulating bowlers. Very good. Akil Hussain, another fine ball striker, but it's running away from the Super Kings. I hate saying that. The rate now 15 and a half and over. It's never over till it's over. But my goodness, it's a difficult task. What a good over by Sikandar Raza, by the way. What a crafty cricketer he is.
You know, with Raza, there's so many variations. You just don't know what's coming next. Played many cricket game against him, also with him, and he was definitely not the same kind of bowler then compared to what he's now. So many different variations. The low arm one, the leg cutter, the knuckleball, tough to pick.
Oh, he's thundered that. Has Vian Mulder. Wide long hop, given the treatment, as they say.
The first mistake from McQueen on 8 deliveries. He's had a wonderful game-changing over in the last one. He bowled, went for that off-cuts again, but the execution this time around not there. Taken care of by Mulder. Found the gap here, found the middle of the bat, found the boundary rope. Much needed boundary.
So look at the pressure build here. James Vince against McQuaina. And McQuaina wins it. Vince won it early in the piece when he took him for 16 and over. Then he tightened him up. Gave him no chance to play on the offside. And in the end, yes, it kept a little low, but it was a brilliant slower ball. He took all the pace off it, which was part of the reason it did keep a little low. And in he comes again. Strong young body. You see, a little wide of the crease, and now the chase is on. Look at that energy chasing that ball. Oh, to be young.
Yeah, it's been a real solid innings from Vian Mulder, 34 of 21. Yes, percentages largely with the Royals, but you feel if JSK have any chance, solely lies in his hands, Vian Mulder.
Well, no, you're right. I mean, there's not a lot in it in terms of runs. Power Royals were 125 at this stage, as against 111. I mean, it's the loss of 6 wickets. Mark Butcher said on his last commentary stint, you can afford to get in here because you can score so quick in the back 10. But you've got to get in. 3 wickets in the power play is very rarely won a T20 game. Let alone 4.
So we're on 111 here, guys. Does a Nelson apply in T20 cricket, or we just throw that away? Mark, you must have some stunning stories.
Applies. No, it applies. Feet up. You have to have your feet off the floor on 111, depending on what you want to happen, of course. Yeah. Lovely. The first time he had the width to work with, and the bounce, I suppose. 14 gone now, 115 for 6.
Hold on. We're going to go Raza.
The It's Raining Sixes leaderboard. Andre Pretorius lit up the early part of the game. And then Dan Lawrence 3, Sikandar Raza 3, James Vince 2. All fine strikers of the ball, but this Andre Pretorius is a rare talent with a rare haircut. I think these crowd pictures show us how people enjoy the event. You know, they may not have considered cricket watchers here. You may have part-timers, so to speak, on the cricket watching front, but everybody has a good time. It's an energy and a vibe. Vibe's a word that people buy into, and boy, the tickets fly out of the window these days.
I was really surprised when I saw all the people come in here. I mean, the Pretoria Capitals is their home ground. We got the Paul Royals here and our foes from across the road, JSK, and it's a packed stadium.
See that ball? That's a hard ball to play. Now he puts in one of those about every 2 overs. That's a low arm ball, a round arm ball. So it has no bounce to it. It skids onto the batsman from delivery around about shoulder height. It's one of the many Sikandar Raza varieties. Beautiful stroke. What a flourish. Watch where the bat finishes here. Wrapped around his shoulders. Akil Hussain with wonder saver.
Almost BC Lara like. Oh, beautiful to the eye. He's played some exquisite shots in this year's Betway SA20 as Akil Hussain.
So 16 and over now. It's gone past that mark. But again, still not that big a differential between the sides. A couple of fabulous overs. Oh, hello. That's a little opportunity missed. The more I see of Sikandar Raza, the more I think that he's been up there amongst the most exciting players of the tournament with his tremendous enthusiasm for the game, his cricket brain, his trickery, and of course that wonderful competitive spirit that makes him such a fighter. That one straight up. The man with the gloves will drop it. Kyle Verreynne disbelieving. It's 1-2-6 for 6.
Akil Hussain sent it straight up the chimney. And when it came down, it wasn't where Carl Verena had calculated it would be. Sikandar Raza not impressed. But the dugout of the Pile Royals saw the funny side.
Yeah, Butch, as a bowler, I would also not be impressed. There's a reason why he's got the gloves on.
And that reason is
We won't go there, Butch.
but usually it's because they catch it. 85 from 30 then. Hardisville Yearn was mighty impressive with the new ball. It's the first bowler really this evening that's run in and hit the pitch hard. Here's the misfortune of Carl Verena. To make matters worse, it bounces up and hits him on the schnoz, but he's getting plenty of sympathy from his teammates and coaches in the dugout.
Yeah, I think just on the assessment of the surface, Butch, it was dry this afternoon, and you felt that if someone run in, hit the surface hard, they can make a real dent. Hardisville Yearn was the guy this afternoon for the Paul Royals. Fantastic opening spell. Picked up 2 wickets early on, and that's always going to set any batting lineup back, let alone losing 4 wickets in that power play with JSK.
Well, we saw that incredible comeback from Pretoria Capitals when they were 5 down in the power play. Not sure we're going to see a similar resurrection from the men in yellow. Remember, of course, that this is the eliminator, so the loser today goes home. The winner will face Sunrisers Eastern Cape tomorrow at the Wanderers. Here are your player of the match contenders. Andre Pretorius for his blistering start, 51 for him. Asa Tribe with a blistering finish. Hardisville Yearn with that opening spell. Almost a chance for Dan Lawrence, but flashes past him and flies to the boundary.
Yeah, he's not going to die wondering, is he? Hussain has been dropped, put down by Carl Verena, previous over, but typical West Indian style, bit of flair.
Go hold of that. They gather. It goes down. It's not the same fella as before, is it? What a shot from Akil Hussain. Is this the same fella who dropped one a little while ago?
That's definitely a yellow card for that man. He's had 2 opportunities to grab a one-handed catch, and both times he puts them down. He had a good look at it. And I'm sure that crowd around him will be letting him know.
To be fair to him, he got a bit of interference from the Angel and the Virat Kohli look-alike behind him. Oh, that sounded clean, but it's gone straight up and taken. They barely put a foot wrong in the field or with the bat. Pile Royals and Hardisville Yearn will pick up another wicket. He has certainly deserved that. And that's the end of Akil Hussain.
The bowler of the night for me, Hardisville Yearn, gets another wicket. He's hit his length so well. Akil Hussain, brave effort, goes for 20. JSK 138 for 7. And we'll take a strategic timeout.
Duan Janssen comes in at number 9, the fall of the 7th wicket, with JSK still requiring 73 from the last 4 overs. Rather forlorn looking JSK bench. Coaches and all headed back to the dugout after the strategic timeout, and that's why Janssen is out there.
Yeah, he's got a good piece of willow on Adid Hussain, but fantastic catch by Herman out in the deep. He steadied himself as it went high up into the night sky. And the Bartman, he's back into the mix.
It's flayed out there. The man positions himself underneath it, and he's picked up yet another wicket in the tournament. 19 in total for Bartman. Another wicket in the final 5 overs of an innings. The most of anybody in the competition. He is so good at the death.
Yeah, he extends his lead to the top of the wicket takers. Jelly does Bartman. And like he's done so often, every time he's come back, he's produced another wicket-taking delivery, another opportunity. It was another swirl, but it was a fantastic catch by Sikandar Raza out in the deep. Number 19 he has in this year's SA20 Bartman. Paul Mulder, he goes for 41. JSK now 138 for 8.
Yeah. Mulder had no choice really. Everything had to go. It was like the January sales out there for him. Sikandar Raza, the arch competitor, is not putting that one down. Neil Bartman now has 60 wickets over the course of the entire SA20. He's out there on his own. Left-hander Nondre Berger, the final rights here surely.
It was always going to be a tough task chasing down today, but there's the Suzuki. We've had our guesses come in, and we'll find out soon at the final on the 25th who will be taking away that beauty. Suzuki Swift.
Yeah, plenty of you have had a go. Balling away there at home. Who will be the winner on Sunday? That Suzuki Swift looks pretty nice. Been driving one around myself these last few days.
What are you trying to suggest, Butch? You've been balling around this last few days?
Easy. Be a bit difficult to take one of those home though. Plenty of excess luggage as it is. Well, top order found it difficult to score at the rate required. It's a bit of a stiff ask for the boys down at the bottom to come out there and smash it to all parts. It really has been a superb performance from Pile Royals. You consider that they have to change the way that they play to such an extent when they move away from Boland Park. They've coped with conditions here magnificently. And also the crowd, very much worth a mention. Neutral venue for this match. But you wouldn't know it, the atmosphere has been absolutely electric. Smiles on faces, people having the best time, as it seems they do everywhere we go in the Betway SA20.
Yeah, you talk about it, fella. That was chance number 1 on the left. again, being distracted, you'd say, on the frame on the right. Yeah, getting a couple of phone calls, a couple of messages on how to do it next time.
He's not getting the gig with any of the Aussie rules teams anytime soon. End of the over, 140 for 8. So your DP World dispatch of the day. Quite a magnificent strike. Uemura over mid-wicket, that's your second contender. And there have been a few of them this evening, as there always are here at Centurion. That's pretty good. Not quite the Western Terrace at Headingley, but it's pretty good. And that's why they banned him at the Western Terrace at Headingley. Goes for the Yorker. Jansen can't find the middle of the bat or the boundary.
Who's backing up?
Yeah, I've got a gentleman sitting next to me that was very convinced about bowlers. Maury, you've been proven wrong tonight by the men in pink.
Well, to be fair, I don't think they really had a chance after the start that the Pole Royals had. They bowled really well. 210 is always going to be difficult to chase. Doesn't matter how good the wicket is, you need it. You need to not lose wickets early on. Unfortunately, they kept losing wickets, and that stems the run flow all the time. You almost felt that someone had to stick. You almost feel that James Vince got in, and someone had to stick with him, one of the top order. They would have gotten close because it was a stage where Mulder and Vince were going, and that they looked really good.
It's very difficult to stop a team from scoring unless you're getting them out here at Centurion. I just felt they panicked a little bit too early. I think they must have spoken about getting ahead of it, or maybe staying with the rate in the power play. And I actually think it's a sort of deck you get yourself in, take a bit of time at the top there, get yourself in, and then you're difficult to stop. But this man, Huddersfield-Yearn, you have to give him a lot of credit. It's easy to turn around and talk about the batting side and what they did or didn't do, but he did not allow them to either get themselves in or to hit freebies. He's been absolutely superb as Huddersfield-Yearn.
Yeah, I think this, to your point as well, 3 youngsters in your top 4 is always going to be a worrying sign, and it was well exposed by Huddersfield this evening. Almost needed to sift James Vince to go open the batting with one of those youngsters just to find some sort of balance, but top 3 youngsters, they were really exposed this evening.
Yeah, and I do think also, in fairness to JSK, Vince, throughout the tournament, Vince came a little bit late. They lose Faf du Plessis, they lose Riley Rousseau. Been sort of stripped of all of their experience in the batting. Donovan Ferreira goes right at the end of the group stage as well, so they've kind of been shorn of an enormous amount of experience over the course of the tournament, and that's very difficult to replace.
Yeah, we were mentioning it off air how much Faf du Plessis, Riley Rousseau and Don Ferreira would have really enjoyed batting on a surface like this. And I think you made such a good point there, Butch. It is the type of pitch that you need to get yourself in on, and once you are in, it can be quite nice to bat on, can be quite free. I thought the pitch has been played really, really nicely. Yes, potentially 1 or 2 have misbehaved, but nothing serious. And when you do have almost the heart of your batting lineup ripped out out of the team, it's very difficult to send youngsters in and do it. But I 100% agree with Vern. You send James Vincent up at the top, Lewis Deploy coming in at 3 potentially. Might have seen different scenes.
Yeah, tip your hat to Pole Royals. They have been too good, too classy, and they will have to go again tomorrow. 144 for 8.
Yeah, it's a fantastic return for Huddersfield. Picking up 3 for 24.
Happy, bro?
He really set the tone up front in that power play. Picking up 2 wickets in the power play. Huddersfield really made sure that he put a dent in this run chase of JSK this evening. Third in the last wicket was that of Hussain. And yeah, he's got reason to celebrate. A happy camp. Fantastic outing for the senior fast bowler.
Up and over. Nice strike from Berger. A little bit of fun and frolics at the back end here for him.
And as a tail ender, I tell you what, this is a shot that he'll go to bed tonight. He's struggling to fall asleep. He'll just recall this very shot. It's an absolute beauty. Mid-off up, just helping himself.
Yeah, he must be saying, leading wicket taker. What leading wicket taker? This is how you do a top order.
Long off goes back. Third man comes up. Anywhere you like, calling all pockets. Wry smile for Bartman, who's seen it all. He bowls this penultimate over so often, and has exactly the right temperament for bowling at the death.
Yeah, many would say fortunate as a bowler. I can tell you, runs against your name. It's not funny at all. You're saying, mentioned about a wry smile from Bartman. Absolutely hate it.
So our statistician Sue Abbott tells me that there is nobody that has taken more wickets bowling the penultimate over of a T20 game in SA20 than Otniel Bartman. He's not going to get another one here. Crowd chance, no. Raining more sixes here, even with the tail enders at the crease.
That is a beauty of a cricket shot from Duan Jansen. Does have some long arms, but look at the arc. Opening up, helping himself. What a cricket shot that is.
The reason that statistic has any relevance whatsoever is the fact that the 19th over is the most expensive in the Betway SA20. Across all games, all teams, the 19th over is the one that goes around the park. Now, Otniel Bartman, before today, his runs per over in the 19th is 3.75. And he's taken 5 wickets for 10 runs before today. He's not good enough to go to the World Cup. Oof, must be someone pretty good. Down the ground. Well, he's been tagged tonight, and it happens to the best of them. All the way for 6. 166 for 8.
Why, Butch, why? You would say commentator's curse, because that just put a little dent in his economy rate. That to me is a 1 bounce 4 though. Seems like it bounced inside the field of play before it hit the cushion. So they'll overturn the maximum. He'll sow a boundary, but again, like you say, world class from Bartman. In the penultimate over that he is, besides this evening.
Well, the party continues here at Centurion. It certainly is one of the standout venues. And there aren't any, you could say, out of the 6 here in Betway SA20 that aren't of the very highest class, but fun for all the family.
Got bad news for us. He might be up at 4 to go to school in the morning.
Yeah, he's not going to get away with some sort of illness or anything. They've just been seen on TV. Your forte with the final over. Really has been magnificent performance from Parrolls. You have to take your hat off to them. They were disappointed, I think, not to have finished in the top 2. JSK beating them at home in the final group match, or their final group match. They have to come out and win 3 games on the trot if they're going to take the title. They've certainly shown in previous years that the accusation had been that they didn't have much of a game for places outside of Boland Park, but they've certainly shown they've got the game for the high veld as well today.
Yeah, 2 captains at it. Former Springbok World Cup captain John Smith on your right. David Miller missing out this fixture. Groin injury. We wish him well. Hopefully he'll be ready by the time the World Cup hits.
Yeah, I spoke to David Miller briefly this morning and sort of said, if you get through, you'll be able to play tomorrow. How bad is it? He wasn't giving anything away, but he certainly didn't seem that confident that he'd play tomorrow. So maybe even if they get to the final, he'll be struggling.
Oh, yes.
He's caught all of that. Oh, down again. Just the crowd getting increasingly frantic. And hopefully that lady's okay. She's been stampeded.
It's those levers again, Chris Morris. It's those levers again. It was nowhere near the pitch of it, but the reach earned him a maximum.
Oh, missed chance from Verena. Jelly just wants to make sure. I think Janssen got back.
You try and stop it. Save 4. Stay in the bun.
Well, quick turnaround. It'll be for Pile Royals. Sunrisers Eastern Cape lie in wait for them tomorrow. Who do you fancy there, fellas?
Yeah, it's difficult to see any team beating Sunrisers Eastern Cape with the balance they have. Got some quality batters in Bairstow, de Kock. They've got some fantastic seamers that can win you games single-handedly. So I do feel Sunrisers Eastern Cape perhaps the favourites. But this is a fantastic effort this evening by the Royals.
Heaved into the leg side, and there will be celebrations from those supporters that have turned up with the pink flags. Congratulations all round. Trevor Penny, David Miller hugging away there in the dugout. They've proven that they can be a match for anybody up here on the high veld, because that has been a comprehensive performance from them. Stand-in captain Dan Lawrence rallied his troops beautifully. Bartman with a couple of wickets. Loandre Pretorius finding form at just the right time. And unfortunately for those in yellow, and perhaps who were hoping to support their team in qualifier 2 tomorrow at the Wanderers, that dream has disappeared, because Pile Royals have played them off the park tonight.
Yeah, massive amounts of confidence will be taken into that game tomorrow night from the Pile Royals team. When you put a performance like this together in a crunch game, in a knockout game, The chest swells, the confidence in the squad. Missing their captain, standing captain Dan Lawrence, brilliant tonight. And they do it all again tomorrow at the Wanderers.
Yeah, they've been convinced. The bowlers, they needed to start well with ball in hand this evening, and they've done exactly that through the two senior statesmen. Hardesviljoen leading from the front. Magnificent return for him, 3 for 24. Really setting the tone for his team and curbing JSK from a win here this evening on the high veld.
Yeah, congratulations all round. JSK for them, it's another Betway SA20 that goes by. Another one that's been beset by injury problems. But the celebrations begin. They'll be short-lived. The Pearl Royals are still in there fighting, winning by 36 runs. In a quite magnificent atmosphere here at Centurion. Last time will be this year, but the qualifier is now confirmed. Sunrisers Eastern Cape will take on Pearl Royals. It's a repeat of last year's qualifier 2. And the Sunrisers beat Pearl Royals in that qualifier. But Joburg Super Kings are on their way out, and there are 3 left. Pretoria Capitals wait in the final. Cape Town on the 25th of January. Yep, you wonder if JSK might look at their policy of selecting older, more experienced players in next year's auction. When they come to look at it, they seem to be beset by injuries every single season. And as we look at David Miller, of course, who is himself is injured at the moment. There's a lot of smiles on faces out there. Pearl Royals know that the hard work is not done. They will have to do it all over again. Okay, let's head down to Cass, who's got Dan Lawrence with her.
Got James Vince alongside me. James, you won the toss, elected to bowl first. What did you think would have been a comfortable total to chase here at Centurion?
I don't know. The guys spoke about it being, or looking like it was going to be a good wicket, and obviously the ball flies a bit, fairly small boundaries, but chasing that much was always going to be tough. I think, we were slightly off it in all areas of the game this evening. Credit to them. Every time we got a wicket, the partnership grew quite quickly, and they kept taking the game on and finding a boundary. So it's quite hard for us to build that pressure and keep them below 200. Having said that, I think there was the opportunity to chase that down. Obviously, we didn't get off to a great start, 30-odd short in the end, and it felt like we were a long way off. But it just shows, if you get a partnership going, boundaries can be fairly easy to score here.
Yeah, those wickets in the power play really set you back, because at Centurion you can catch up. Having said that, it has been a tough campaign, and without making excuses, you did struggle with injuries, and tough to build continuity in that environment.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been, missed a few big players, no getting away from that fact, but it has created opportunities for some other guys to come in, and guys that have played well. So I guess, given where we're at and a reflection on how we played, it's probably fair that we've not progressed any further. But of course, coming into tonight, we were full of belief that we could keep going in this competition, but it wasn't to be this evening.
A word for the Joburg Super King supporters travelling up the N1 with their whistles, coming out here to support you at Centurion.
Support's been amazing throughout the competition, not just here this evening, our home games and some of our away games as well. So, I've been thoroughly impressed and thoroughly enjoyed the competition. The fans have come out in their numbers every game. So, thanks to those fans, and hopefully we'll be back stronger next season.
Hard luck tonight. All the best to the boys.
Thank you.
Yeah, the eagle-eyed among you would have noticed that wasn't Dan Lawrence, it was James Vince. Here's the card then for Joburg Super Kings. They got off to the worst possible start, really, losing 4 wickets in the power play. Vince put up some resistance with 47 from 29, but by then the damage had already been done. Wian Border, test match triple Centurion with 41 from 27, but in truth it was too little too late. 174 for 8 they finished on.
Yeah, and the partnership's not much to talk about it up at the top. They needed a big one. They needed someone to bat through to chase this total down. Showed a little bit of promise there with Vince and Deploy. And then when Mulder came in with Vince, they also again got going. But once that wicket fell of Vince, nothing much towards the end. Then bowlers on a high-scoring ground. Bloemfontein started off so well with the new ball. Huddersfield, the bowler of the match for me, bowled really well, 3 for 24 in his 4 overs. McQuenna bowled at a good pace, took vital wicket of Vince. Bartman again, a little bit expensive, but again in the wickets. Lawrence good, and Raza, yet again, doing a job for his team.
Okay, so here is your Betway moment of the match. Should have been, or it could have been pivotal. It was the run out of Luandre Pretorius, who was just beginning to spread his wings. Very sharp piece of fielding by Matthew de Villiers. Little slip from Pretorius, and he fell agonisingly short. Your Betway moment of the match. Suzuki driver of the day went to Ian Mulder. Lovely back foot punch that beat mid-on and mid-wicket. There's always one for the bowlers. This was a beauty. Again, it's Ian Mulder. Went for the double bluff. Fielded out wide on the leg side. Went round the wicket. And bowled the perfect Yorker between the legs of Dan Lawrence. So here it is then, the eliminator. Joburg Super Kings are out of Betway SA20 in 2026. Par Royals 210 for 5. Pretorius starring with 51. And then Joburg Super Kings in reply could only manage 174 for 8. 3 for Hardisville Yearn. He was quite sensational. Par Royals winning by 36. They will go again tomorrow at the Wanderers. All right, time for a break, after which we'll have the presentation for you. And then there were three. Sunrisers Eastern Cape will take on Pile Royals tomorrow in a repeat of last year's qualifier 2. The Sunrisers got up in that one. And waiting for them in the final in Cape Town will be Pretoria Capitals. Right, as promised, Cass Naidu is outside awaiting with the presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the post-match presentation for the eliminator between Pile Royals and Joburg Super Kings. Betway SA would like to welcome the presentation party and thank its partners, Cricket South Africa and all media partners for making this competition such a success. Let's hand out the accolades. And first up, I'd like to invite Doug Worth, the head of cricket sponsorships from Rain, to present the It's Raining Sixes Match Award. And this award goes to Luandre Pretorius. Congratulations to Luandre, 5 sixes in his innings. And a wonderful start to Pile Royals' innings. This is how the leaderboard ended tonight. It's raining sixes. Pretorius, Lawrence, Raza, Vince and Hussein completing that top 5. Let's invite Kirsten Atkinson, the Chief Operating Officer from Switch, to present the Switch Game Changer of the Match Award to Ngobani Mokoena. 5,000 Rand goes to Mokoena and 5,000 Rand will be donated to the Switch Schools SA20 Bursary Fund. This was the moment that won the Switch Game Changer of the match for Ngobani Mokoena. A massive wicket that James Vince, the Joburg Super Kings captain, who was threatening to tear away Mokoena, stumps rattle, and he had the last laugh. The Switch Game Changer of the Match Award to Ngobani Mokoena. Let's welcome Nomsa Mwaketsi, the regional head of Wealth Gauteng North from ABSA, to present the ABSA Moneyball Saver of the Match Award to Bjorn Fortuin from Pile Royals. The most dot balls bowled in this eliminator, 12 under his belt. He's been exceptional throughout this competition. And let's just have a look and confirm the ABSA Moneyball Saver leaderboard for this match: Fortuin, Warrell, Viljoen, Mokoena and Bartman. Next up, Gustav Mertz, the Executive Vice President, Bulk and Corridors for Logistics, SSA region from DP World, to present the DP World Dispatch of the Day Award to Sikandar Raza. A wonderful knock from him, 35 from 19.